What's going on, guys? Welcome to Trick 10s. My name is Matt Downs. Today I am going to be working on the Tracker Grizzly 1860. We sell kits for this boat. A lot of people want information on them, so this video is dedicated to the 1860 rear kit. It's got two 20-inch hatches. We're going to drop them either side, port and starboard, right back here behind the gas tank. There's a lot of open space up underneath there, and whether you have one of these kits already and you want to know how to install it, or you're thinking about buying one, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. It's not that hard. It does take a little bit of time digging the foam out of there. That's literally the hardest part of the entire thing. A lot of guys ask me about the foam. Real quick, foam is only in your boat in case your boat gets swamped or it capsizes. It will help keep it afloat. If that worries you and you don't want to take the foam out, by all means, don't take the foam out. But it does nothing to the actual hull as far as performance. It doesn't make it float higher. It has nothing to do with that. That foam only comes into play if you are in a terrible situation. What a lot of guys do, if they remove the foam, add an extra bilge pump. You can add 2, 3 bilge pumps if it makes you happy. It is not something that you have to have in there. If it is your personal boat, taking that foam out of there is your personal preference. I like to take it out. Majority of the tracker foam gets wet and soggy and just adds weight, and it doesn't really help out with flotation at that point anyways. I'm gonna turn this camera around. I'm gonna show you guys what we got, how I'm gonna make this stuff work, and the easiest way to lay out these hatches. Let's get started. All right, so this is what you're gonna get with your kit. You're gonna get 2 hatches. These are 20 by 20 drop-in hatches. I got that one flipped upside down. We're gonna take a look at that in just a second. And then you have these 4 pieces of 080 thickness aluminum, and these basically are gonna go inside once you get this hole cut out to fill up the floor, and you're gonna rivet them down. They'll sit basically just overlapping in the center just a little bit, and that'll finish off the floor. And the reason that these are in pieces and not one big piece is because you're only gonna have a 20-inch hole opening up here, so you can't fit a piece in there that's 42 inches. So let's go check out this hatch from the back. You guys understand how this hatch works and what we're going to do here. This custom extruded hatch track that I got, super nice, and it allows me to have an 1.5 inch flange on the outside of our hatch. Now, as you can see, I make my hatches just a little bit small. This one came in about 19 7/8, maybe a little less, and it should be the same the other direction, about 19 7/8. It does have a drain on it, and it's important that you orient this hatch to where that drain is towards the back of the transom. These are square hatches, so if you don't want to have it opening towards the outside of the hull, you can have it opening towards the back, towards the front, towards the inside, however you want it. That's up to you. I like to put them to where they open up towards the outside of the hull, but that is in a pair with the other one. So if you're going to have it open up to the outside of the hull, make sure that that drain tube is going to be on the back side of the transom. Now, this hatch has a stiffener in it, super strong. Everything is made out of 0.125 aluminum. With that being said, you can get an idea for where this hatch is going to sit based off of where this gas tank plate stops and where this wall stops, because this comes straight up right here. So you can come off of here. You know, you want this to be about 1.5 inch gap here. Well, you're going to come 3 inches to start your hole. What I would recommend is that you just set it up there like I'm doing right now, kind of move it around, get a feel for where you want it to be at, and then come and put maybe a little mark on some of your corners. Then you can get the tape measure and the square out and lay off this hole and make it perfect. But he does have this little piece right here, and this is for his seat cushion. He's got a cushion that goes up here, and he said he has like a strap on it that comes back where he can snap it here, and his strap is long. So we're going to take that out. He's going to put a new one in. He can put it here. So he might even put it on this side. It's basically just to keep that cushion from flying out of the boat. But without that being there, I'd recommend that you come maybe, 2-3 inches off of where this is at to start your hatch, and then another 1.5 inches from that to your cutout. So with that being said, let's see what this looks like, because I think that's about where we want it. 4 inches, pretty good. You come 4 inches from where this stops to where you're going to start your cutout, I think your money. That still gives you plenty of clearance back here. And over here on this side, well, you're going to come probably 3 inches off of this to start. Simple. First thing I would do, I'll draw my line on 2 sides with the square, and then measure and do the same thing. I'm going to put you guys in the hyperlapse. I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 pieces laid out for my holes, and then we're going to cut them out of here. Now, before I cut them, there is one thing you got to do over here. you've got this drain. This is for your bilge pump right here. And all you got to do is take this hose clamp off right here, and you're going to fish it back down through. It has a channel up underneath of here. You're going to have to cut through. That channel basically just holds this hose up in it so that it doesn't get wrapped up in the foam and get foamed in. So you also are going to have to remove this right here. I think that this is actually on prong connectors, or you can just quick connect them off, and you have to pull that back through too. It's very simple. If you cut through either one of these, it's very simple to fix too. Not a big deal. This hose is going to be shortened probably by about 3 feet, because instead of wrapping all the way up and coming in here, then it's just going to come straight across right through there. I'll show you guys that when we get to it. First thing I got to do is go ahead and cut both of these hatches out. So I'm going to put you guys on hyperlapse and get these laid out, and we'll circle back. See if that can work. All right, so as you can see, we did get this piece lined up, cut out, came 4.5 inches off of here and 3 inches off of here, and this is our perfect spacing for it. This piece is basically just the piece that had the hose to it and the wire. You can pull that out of there. You might need a longer jigsaw blade to cut that out, or sawzall, but we got it done. And now we're gonna start digging this foam out of here. Same thing on both sides. This is gonna be the longest and most tedious part of the entire job. We've got a long blade on our sawzall right there. That's an 8-inch blade, and what I'm gonna do is just chop this up into like a big tic-tac-toe board, and then we're gonna come back with a little pry bar and try to pry this out of here. Tomorrow's trash day, so I'm trying to get as much of this out of here as we can tonight, and we'll circle back. Let's get back to work. Guys, so check it out. Made a lot of progress on installing this kit. Obviously we got the hole cut out and stuff, and we dug all this foam out of here. Now this is a pain in the ass. This foam wasn't as bad as some of the older models. Obviously this thing's a 2025, but we do have some standing water in here. You can see in the bottom down here where it's a little bit darker, it's like the bottom 1/4 inch is darker. Well, that's wet, and this boat is not even a year old. And you can see over here, well, there's standing water in here. I mean, it is what it is. The design is shitty. It sucks, but I mean, the reality of it, like right now where I'm at, I might come back and try to drill like some 1-inch holes in here with a hole saw, just to help with the drainage. I'm trying to dig all this foam out back here so that any of the water that gets in here has a way out. Because when they shoot that foam in there, I mean, the stuff just fills this up tight and it ends up soaking up the water and not allowing any more water to get out. So I'd like to do as much preventative maintenance now that I can before I put this subfloor in here. But now that you're at this stage of the game, what you're going to do is come back and you're going to take a Sharpie, you're going to put a mark here, here, and here, so you know where this rib is at. You're going to shoot rivets into that. And then for this long one, same thing. You put one on this side, put one on that side, and you can draw you a straight edge across there. You're going to come back through here and you're going to shoot your rivets. Now look, on the other side, I went ahead and dropped the floor pieces in there. That way you can see what they look like. I haven't installed them yet, but this is the way the kit comes. You get these two pieces in here, obviously because this hole is smaller than this piece has to be. I can't ship it in one piece, but you're going to put one piece in, and then you'll come back and drop the other one in. Same type of deal as what we got on the other side. Suck this thing tight to the side of the hole over here. That little bend on there is going to help you out. And then once you get your mark up here where these ribs are at, just come back, shoot you some rivets through here about every 6 inches. Same thing for these going across here, and then you're done. That's it. Simple. Gives you lots of room inside of there. This is like 40 inches by 18 inches. And I mean, this thing drops down like 13 inches. So you got a ton of storage in here. Same thing on the other side. Now that we're at this stage of the game, I'm going to go ahead and dig a little bit more foam out of there, try to clean this thing up, maybe put some drainage holes in there. And I'm going to go ahead and install these floor sheets in here permanently. I'm going to drop these hatches in here and install them permanently. And then we'll circle back. Let's get back to work. Check it out, this is all done. Now the customer is going to come back and he's going to do his own EVA flooring in here. But let me show you how this works. And this is the easy side right here. Doesn't have the electrical or plumbing through it, but hatches dropped in, floors installed, put the drain tube up here, and I just ran it down there. I did go ahead and put one of those little zip ties with a rivet holding it up there, just to keep it tucked back in the corner and give him room in here. Now you can just go ahead and run this directly down into this corner back here. It doesn't have to go over there, but I wasn't sure about the drainage back there because the metal came back a little bit closer than I thought it was going to. But I mean, regardless, it'd probably be all right either way. Other side, same exact thing, man. It's just the only difference was we obviously had to rerun this hose through here and then hook up the wire for that. I'll show you that inside of here and inside the middle compartment. But as you can see, that's the trough that it originally came through, and it's not really in the way at all. I just left it. I mean, it only sticks down about 1 inch underneath this hatch, so you still got about 10 inches of space underneath of here. Lots of room in here. You can see how I did this one. The drain tube, everything's hooked up into the same exact thing we did on the other side. A little zip tie with a rivet on it. And then what I did for this one is the grommet right there was inside of here. I just took that one off and I drilled an 1 3/4 inch hole down there. And then inside of here, well, you got this one attachment. It's really dark right here. This attachment, this hose was pulled up into that. Well, you just cut that so you can pull this over and just run it backwards. put my new hole back here. I'll probably come back and throw another zip tie on this or this, and you could even zip tie this up to the side right here. But yeah, I mean, it's simple, man. And I did cut this hose off a little bit because it was too long. But I mean, with that not being right there, just coming back here, makes a shorter run, doesn't hurt anything. If anything, it gives you a little bit more room up inside of here. But I will throw another attachment into that one just to hold that piece up there. It's pretty good though. Pretty simple. You guys can do this. If you guys want to get one of these kits, this kit is $800. That will get you the 2 hatches and the pieces that you need to finish off inside of the floor. If you want to get them powder coated, the powder coat adds $50 per hatch. It could be any color you want. And these little handles right here are pretty cool. These are the compression handles. I like these. These are the only ones I sell. I got them in all black, or I got them with a stainless T handle on them. The all black ones are $45. The stainless T handles are $50 a piece. I'll ship these to your door, wherever you're at. If you're interested in one of these, just hit me up, guys. I'll be glad to take care of you. All right, guys, so there it is, Tracker Grizzly 1860 kit. Now, these are really nice boats. They're versatile boats. You got lots of room in here. You can take this thing duck hunting, fishing, take the family out. The only issue is you don't have any storage in here. So adding that kit in the back, it definitely gives you a whole lot more storage, port and starboard. And if you guys are interested in one of those, well, hit me up. I try to make them as DIY as possible. I think you guys can handle this. I appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like, subscribe button, leave a comment, and let me know what you think about this project. I'll see you on the next one. Let's get back to work.